Hey, so today let's make some buttered popcorn soda. I know that sounds really weird, but the stuff I ended up with was actually really good. So let's go ahead and make it. Now the first thing that we're gonna need to make is some nice popcorn. And my preferred method is to use a stovetop, but you do you. If you wanna use a microwave popcorn, all the power to you. Now to make popcorn over a stovetop, all you need to do is simply heat up a pot with about 2 tablespoons of clarified butter or coconut oil. Even vegetable oil will work here. Now let it heat up for a few minutes over medium heat, not too long. You should start to see it shimmer a little bit. Once it starts to get to that temperature, go ahead and toss in 1 kernel and see if it starts bubbling. If it doesn't, or if it's bubbling kind of slowly, just let it heat up for a little bit longer. But if it starts really bubbling, we're ready to go. So once you're ready to make the popcorn, toss in 1/4 cup of popcorn kernels into the pot. Once you toss in all the popcorn kernels, I like to remove the entire pot from the heat. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna allow all the popcorn kernels to kind of just evenly get heated up at once, so they kind of all pop at the same time instead of just popping when some get hotter than others. After about 30 seconds of kind of just them coming up to temperature, the residual heat will start to make the kernels swell up and ready to pop. Now put the pot back on the heat and they should start popping within about 20 seconds. As the popcorn cooks, it's gonna start releasing moisture, which is gonna condense on the cool surface of the lid. And if you jostle it, that's basically gonna cause water to fall down into the hot oil. And that's gonna cause all sorts of splattering and really nasty stuff. You don't want that. And it's gonna make your popcorn soggy. So after the popcorn starts popping, just let it pop until you hear about a full second between pops. Once this is the case, just pull everything off the heat and immediately pour it into a bowl. If you leave it in the pot for too long, the residual heat from the pot can actually burn or scorch the popcorn that's in there. All right, now we should have about 2 cups of freshly popped popcorn. And if you decided to use this with a microwave, you would probably got to this a lot sooner than I did. All right, now that we have our popcorn, it's time to make our popcorn syrup. The first part of our popcorn syrup is we're actually gonna need to make a syrup. So to do this, heat up 2 cups of sugar in 1 cup of water. You only need to get this hot enough so that the sugar is dissolved in the water. You don't need to bring it to boiling or anything like that. Once you've got your sugar syrup, pour the syrup and the popcorn into a blender. Now, it's always a really good practice to keep your hand on the lid of the blender when you turn it on, and also to make sure that you start the blender on a low speed and slowly ramp it up. If you don't, you'll end up with a situation like this. Yeah, this took me a really long time to clean up and I had to start all over. So learn from my mistake and don't do what I did. So as long as you didn't make the same mistake that I did, blend the popcorn and syrup up together until everything is completely broken up. Now, I'm gonna recommend adding an optional ingredient, but I really do recommend adding this, which is something known as gum arabic, or acacia gum, as it's also known. If you do this, you're gonna end up with something that's a little smoother and will mix a little bit better. And this is, for example, what they use in stuff like Coca-Cola to make sure that the oils blend with the water well. So just blend it for a while until you get a very smooth popcorn syrup. And at that point, just go ahead and pull it off and give it a taste. And it should taste quite popcorny. Now this syrup's really nice, however, it will still have some of the popcorn husks in it, which we really don't want. So you can just use a sieve or a filter to just filter the solids from the syrup. Something like a coffee filter will work great. Once filtered, we have our popcorn syrup and we can make soda with it. So just cool this down in the fridge till it comes to about room temperature, or even colder if you want. And then just go ahead and add a little bit of sparkling water to some syrup. And the cool part about doing soda this way is that you can really control how strong the soda is. I would start by adding about 1 tablespoon in. If that seems like it's not sweet enough, you can go ahead and add in a 2nd tablespoon. And as you add this, it's not only gonna add more sugar, but it also is gonna add a lot more popcorn flavor. So now the main question is, how does this taste? So the big question is, how does it taste? So let's taste it. It's awesome. Somehow it tastes creamy and there's no cream in it. It's absolutely delicious. It tastes like kettle corn or something like this. Absolutely delicious. You should definitely make this. Subscribe for more content like this.